Hello, hello. Is anyone here with me yet? Should be able to see some chats if anybody's here yet. I don't think anybody's here yet. Arcane, how you doing? We got 3 people watching. Let's see. Get a couple more people in here and I'll start actually talking. Squeaky chair. Up to 4. Hey, that's good to hear. Happy Sunday to you as well. Good to hear people are doing all right. Hi, hey there, Roy. So, we got a 30-minute relegation race today. Thrasher, Shiesty, Ozzy, and Junkai are going to be our primary racers. Oh, it looks like we're already going to start qualifying here, so ready to go. 10-minute qualifier for this race. We'll see who's got the hot laps to go with. Should be a relatively interesting race strategy-wise today. This is a very fast pit, as everybody is pretty aware. So soft tires could be on the docket. Multiple soft tire stints even, in fact, could be on the docket. Personally, I think I would probably just run 2 medium stints, just keep it nice and safe and just stay out on the track as much as possible. But soft tires are definitely an option for this race, given the short pit times. So looks like a couple people have already jumped out. Junkai looks like Ozzy's waiting for some clean air. So Junkai is out and Shiesty is behind him. Let's go ahead and watch Junkai cockpit view on this opening out lap here, just to get a good feel for how the lap should be probably taking its speed. Oh, looks like Junkai is not quite pushing it yet, just kind of having a soft out lap to go with. Let's get these, there we go. Just kind of being easy on the car on this first lap, maybe preserving the tires so his tires are as healthy as possible for the next lap. That would make sense to me. Looks like Shiesty's giving him a whole bunch of space. All the drivers looks like they are spacing themselves out nice. They want to have good clean air to race this with. That makes sense. So after 10 minutes of this, we'll see where we stand, and then we will have a 30-minute relegation race. The top 3 racers will all move on to GTD Pro. It looks like we got some Pro openings, and only 1 racer will be left behind to stay in GTD. So it's going to be a tough one with only 4 racers and only 3 spots available, so someone will be the odd man out. Feel free to make your guesses on who will be the odd man out. We could guess the top 3, but it feels like it makes more sense to guess 1 player as opposed to 3. So feel free to place your bets if you'd like on to who do you think will be the 4th place finisher and will end up in GTD today. As they are eventually going to make their rounds here. Oh, a complimentary baguette. Sweet. I want some gluten for breakfast. Alright, so this should be a real lap for Junkai. He should push hard here for a real qualifier. Let's go ahead and just follow him on his lap here since he's out in front. And this is the chicane turn 1 and 2. You want to get a good wide exit on this second turn to get as much speed on the uphill as possible. You could count these little kinks as 3 and 4 if you want. So this could be 3. And then this downhill section into 4. This could be taken pretty fast most of the time. I like to take it pretty dang quick. Okay. So the first guess for who's going to take the last spot is either going to be Ozzy or Thrasher, is the guess coming from Larry. Larry's putting his money on Ozzy or Thrasher for that final spot. I'd hate it for it to be Thrasher, because Thrasher's my boy, but I do think there's a fair chance it could be Thrasher today. He does show up clutch in races, I agree. Thrasher does always definitely shows up when it matters, for sure. Yeah, this is probably by far the easiest relegation Honestly, the first relegation race was probably the easiest because I don't think it mattered at all. It was just for show in the end. I think everybody was already promoted before that race even began. So this would probably be the second least involved relegation race we've had so far, with only 4 racers. No spare racers or anything. I wonder if we could maybe do a system in the future where the fill-ins get to race in the relegation race. People who are subbing in during the season, if they sub in a certain number of races, maybe they could be eligible for the relegation race as well. I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. Get a couple more drivers in this race. Get a little bit more interesting. So here's Junkai coming around on his first lap. What kind of time is he going to set here? Looks like a 1:54.9. Sheisty's behind him. Let's see what kind of lap time he's coming up with. Looks like he'll be just behind 1 second 55.9. Ozzy with a... takes first place with a 54.7. And Thrasher's coming around for his end of his first lap as well on the final straight here. So far it's Ozzy in the lead, followed by Junkai and Sheisty. Let's see what kind of time Thrasher has here. It looks like he's going to be a couple seconds behind. 58.5. Let's see if he can put a faster one down on his next lap. Junkai now knows that he is not the automatic top driver in this race. He's going to have to put in some effort, I think. Those soft tires do seem to be wearing quite quickly on this track during this temperature and time of day setup. At the very least, like those softs are already down about a third, and they're only on middle of lap 3. So soft tires might just be burning a little too quick here. Junkai on the purple. I didn't quite. I think that was 4/10 purple. Yeah, right. Don't count Ozzy out. That final spot, it might be between Sheisty and Thrasher. Let's see if he retains this. I think he was 4/10 purple on the last sector. Let's see what he's like here. This looks purple to me. Yep, 6/10 purple. Junkai takes the lead. Where is... it looks like Ozzy might have restarted, because he was behind Junkai earlier, or he's so far behind that I just lost the placement here. Looks like Sheisty is going to grab a new set of tires at the very least. If you wanted to grab a second set for... this would definitely be one of those tracks to just jump in the pit and grab new tires, keep the low fuel. Get a couple more tenths off your lap times. Pits are so fast, you're not going to lose any time. Thrasher does improve his time. Oh, and Ozzy's off track. Into the wall. Front end damage, left front tire and front end damage. That's gonna... that already kills the lap, just hitting the wall itself, just the slowdown. So, this lap is done. Let's see how Thrasher's doing. Start of a new lap for him. He did set a new, faster time by about 1.3 seconds, it looks like, from his previous lap. He definitely needs to improve another 2 seconds on that if he wants to get in the hunt here. Oh, and that's not going to do it. That is not going to do it. Let's see where everybody's out on the track here. Looks like Ozzy's... that's right, that lap's already scuffed for Ozzy here. Junkai is coming around for the end of his lap. Sheisty's on the beginning of a lap here. Thrasher pit for at least a restart. He might be waiting for the cars in front of him to pass, so he can try to get back out on the track here. He's got about 3 more minutes, at least another time for one more hot lap. One hot lap and a hot lap at least if he gets out soon. Look how worn those tires are for Junkai. 50% on the front right soft tire after 4 laps. I definitely spoke too soon, I think, on suggesting that soft tires might be on the table. I think they are just going to wear too quick today. That's 8 minutes of a... We'll assume that they could last 10 minutes. You'd have to pit at least 3 times. It might be doable, but I don't know if it's worth it. Nope, it is just 4 drivers today. Junkai, Ozzy, Shiesty, and Thrasher is all we're going to have today. It is a short field. And the top 3 drivers will be promoted. Only the bottom driver, the last 4th place non-podium finisher, will be the odd man out today. I'd like to see a sector time to see if this is worth continuing to watch here. Come on, Junkai, hit a sector. Any sector will do. Nope. Okay. Where's Ozzy at? Ozzy's coming around on his lap. This should be a good hot lap for Ozzy. We'll see where he stands here. Can he close the distance to Junkai? Can he get that first place back? He's got about 7 tenths he needs to make up. Coming around the final corner. It's a slick one. He's got a chance. No, just about 3 tenths shy. Shiesty's on the start of another lap. Thrasher looks like he's on an outlap at the moment. We got 1 lap worth of time left in the qualifying here. We definitely have a good spread between these 4 drivers of almost a second per driver. I'm hoping that the actual race is a little tighter, a little more action, because if everybody's, multiple seconds spread out by 4 or 5 laps into the race, this is going to be a pretty quiet one. Maybe somebody will make a pit mistake. Maybe Junkai will pit unnecessarily late in the race like Mercury did. We'll have to see what happens. All right, Ozzy's coming around the final corner here on his final hot lap. Can he improve? Can he get close to Ozzy? It looks like it's close. It is an improvement, but still 5 tenths back from Ozzy. Good improvement, though, for sure. Looks like Thrasher has finished up his thing, so everybody looks like has completed. Ozzy's just needs to cross the line here, and we will be done with qualifying. We'll check to see if he makes an improvement as well. That was a good corner. Go, 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 go. No improvement. So it's going to be Junkai, Ozzy, Shiesty, and Thrasher as the 4-man order for this 30-minute relegation race to begin here shortly. Ozzy definitely has a strong chance to be promoted today. He's probably a little faster than I think maybe was anticipated by the crowd here today. So I'm sure he's feeling happy about his performance so far. Shiesty was quite good in the beginning of the season. Missed the last couple races, which is why he's here. Had he been able to make every race this season, it's very likely he probably would have finished in first place. Yep, so it's, again, Junkai, Ozzy, Shiesty, and Thrasher in that order. Saito will be our safety car in the event it is necessary, although the distance between these drivers right now, I don't know if they're even going to get close to one another. We'll have to see. Medium tires are required. I would expect everybody to start on them and maybe shift to softs later in the race if they feel they can complete them to the end. It's like the minimum, basically, or just a double medium run. Or multiple softs, we'll have to see. But those soft tires look like they were wearing way too fast to me. I wouldn't want to drive them today. Not unless, there was 5 laps left. So we should be beginning here quite shortly. Take a look at the final lap times for everybody and the gaps between them. 7 tenths to Junkai, another minute or minute, 1.3 seconds from Shiesty to Ozzy, and another 3.2 seconds from Thrasher to Shiesty. So there is definite space in the field. Oh, and the race is about to begin. So it is a false start. We're going to start back here with Thrasher to start the race. We're going to start in this view, I think. And they're off. The RCZs have a good takeoff, much better than the Ferraris. Oh, Thrasher lights up a little bit to let Shiesty through. Doesn't want to cause any stirs early in this race. Come on, Thrasher, go, go, go. Catch him up. Don't fall behind, buddy. And Shiesty's right on Ozzy's tail. Coming into turn roughly 3 or 4, depending on how you count them. Into the hairpin. Everybody a little tentative, I feel like, to start the race. Everybody looks like on medium tires. Oops, sorry, too much jumping around. So RCZs versus Ferrari today. I like the RCZ on this track. I think it's a track that benefits from that car quite well. It doesn't like to stop and start, but it does like high speed. Thrasher not falling too far behind, keeping up with the pace, being patient. Yep, a lot of definitely the courteous driving today. Nobody's pushing too hard already to start this race. First lap is a very gentle one, and gaps are already starting to form between the racers. Junkai's already almost established a 2-second gap on Ozzy on the first lap. And about similar gap between Ozzy and Shiesty as well. And just the same between him and Thrasher. So kind of as I expected from the qualifying, these drivers have put a decent gap between each other right off the bat. Just going to be about finding good, consistent lines here. That's exactly how I like to take that corner, like Junkai just did. A good, fast exit up the hill. It is optimum for sure. Right? Nothing's going to push you to succeed, to push you to run a good pace other than potentially getting kicked out, that's for sure. Or demoted. Unless you're Mercury, in which case you wanted to be demoted. It's the only explanation for that pit last relegation race. Interesting glare off the cockpit there. The sun glaring off the instrument panel was pretty cool. And Thrasher is starting to trail off the back here. Starting to lose the pack. That's unfortunate. Shiesty is trying his darndest to keep up with Ozzy right now. Although all he really has to do is stay ahead of Thrasher, and he is guaranteed a spot in Pro. Top 3 drivers all promoted today. So stakes are pretty low for 3/4 of the field. Junkai here at the front. What has he got? 54.9. That's basically what he was running in qualifying, or pretty close to it. Might be a second off on that just because of the tires, but feels like it's pretty much on pace. He's already established a strong 4-second gap to Ozzy. The closest racing pair right now is Ozzy and Shiesty, for sure the only 2 cars who can actually see each other on the track at this time. That's a cool camera angle. I like that one. Man, I'm not going to have a lot to say for 30 minutes at this rate. There's no action to speak of. At some point, we will have a pit stop, so something could change. Unless somebody wipes out, I don't know if we're going to see much racing knuckle action here today. I guess it should be noted that I think Ozzy has the incorrect numbers. Yes, he has black numbers on his number boards. I think that's an automatic disqualification if I'm not mistaken. I'm just kidding. Yeah, RCZ seems to be definitely outperforming the Ferrari at the moment, Jim, I would agree. Although I think the Ferrari's pretty balanced. I mean, Sciatica had a really good season with it. He won a race with it. He had a podium finish on the last track. I think this Ferrari is definitely a competitive car. Now, the 911 992, that new car, that thing is insane. That thing is the most overpowered car they have ever released. It needs to be nerfed immediately. I'm driving that 992 the other day, and I was like 4 or 5 seconds ahead of everybody in no time. And then we switched, and everybody else drove it, and I drove the other car, and I couldn't keep up with it. So, yeah, that 992 is insanity. Oh, Shiesty had a chance to cut the corner there, maybe gain something on Ozzy. But had a little bit of tire slip there in the back end and loses that time. I would imagine it is. Like, if I was going to go play in sport mode, I would only want to drive the 992. That thing is easily a second faster than every other GT3 car that you can pick. Like, easily. It's not even a choice. There's no other car worth driving. I would expect it to be banned as a car pick next season, as anybody who gets it is just going to dominate. Any top driver that gets that car is just going to easily win. Interesting. Interesting. That's a lot of good information there, Larry. The rest of the people can't probably, unless they're watching the stream and see your chat there, they can't see it. But yeah. I'm not surprised. Yeah, that car is just ridiculous. I'd love to drive it myself, but I know it would be unfair. Let's check in on all the drivers here. Junkai coming around the last turn. Still with a solid, now almost 7 and change lead on Ozzy. Ozzy and Shiesty remain the only two cars who can realistically see each other here. Thrasher is going to catch a small glimpse of Shiesty here in the distance, but he is also 7-second gap. So first and last place are about 7 seconds between the two cars in the middle, which are about 3 cars between each other themselves. Shiesty messes up that turn 2 yet again, slides the car. He just can't gain on Ozzy, it looks like. Ozzy's taking that turn 4 or so quite quick. Good corner on the hairpin. If I had to pick any of the cars that were being used today, I would probably have gone with the RCZ as well. Not just because I drove it last season, I'm familiar with it, but because I know it's good here. This is just, the RCZ does well on tracks that just have a lot of like high speed corners and just like slowing down, hard acceler outs. It does not do well on tracks with a lot of really slow corners like that Canadian track we just did with all the hairpins and stuff. It does not like to do that. The turbo lag ends up killing it, I think. But anytime it could just stay up in RPMs, even here it's a good coast in through. You don't really slow down. You keep the turbo spooled up. So it does well on this kind of course. Ferrari seems okay. It seems the 926, I believe it is. It's a little slides a little bit, I find, on some of these corners. The back end tends to get a little on the loose side, but if you can expect that and prepare for it and plan for it, I think it's still a good car and worth driving. I don't like its slow takeoff, but It is what it is. Junkai's extended his gap another second. He looks like he's gaining roughly about a second per lap at this point. We're about coming in on the end of lap 5 here. Almost a third of the race completed. So we're probably looking at roughly 16 laps, I would say, from the extra couple seconds. Might just make 16 laps. Everybody's tires are essentially identical. Thrasher here, unfortunately, losing more time. Jicey's still trying to reel Ozzy in. Doesn't really have to worry about pushing too hard, though, of course, because, I mean, this third place is good enough, for sure. I'm sure he would like the bragging rights of being able to get past Ozzy, though. Fastest lap was Junkai, of course, with a 54.7. And he's on another purple, so he's probably going to beat that here. Fuel tanks are already down to about 50%. So that means, yeah, they definitely won't make it till the end. That's maximum of like 10 to 11 laps, probably. Probably 11. But we'll have to start seeing some pits, and then if it is 16, they could theoretically do a soft stint to finish. Softs would be pretty worn by the end of the race, but I think mathematically that should work out. So, yeah, if you can last to 11, I think a pair of soft tires and I don't even know how much fuel. Let's say at least 50%, maybe a little more. Might be enough to finish the race up here at the end. It looks like Junkai did set a new fastest with his last... No, he didn't. He was just a little under. But getting too close to that curb there at on turn 2 is not the preferred way to take it. You definitely want to not clip that curb on the inside and get a better run by taking it wider when you can. Junkai has now extended his gap to 11 seconds. Now the gaps on car 1 and 4 are almost identical to the mid-pack of Ozzy and Shiesty. Kind of an interesting coincidence, that. Let's take a look at what people are using. So it looks like Junkai's using a little bit of traction control, but Ozzy and Shiesty are not. Thrasher is. But Ozzy and Shiesty are not using any traction control. Looks like counter steer assist is on for Ozzy. That's interesting. No ASM, no traction control, no counter steer assist for Shiesty. So ABS is on for everybody, of course, because otherwise you'd be sliding into the wall. But all the other assists are off for Shiesty, so that's interesting. Ozzy just has the counter steer assist. You might want to turn that off, Ozzy. I don't think that's doing you any favors. I'm not a big fan of the counter steer assist. And then Junkai's using the traction control just for stability. But interesting choice there for the Ferraris, or one of the RCZs and one of the Ferraris to not be using traction control in today's race. The cars are quite spaced out at this point. Checking on Thrasher here. Yeah, Junkai could pull over, watch the entire extended trilogy, and have a smoke break. Even though he doesn't smoke, he could start smoking, have a smoke break, and probably still be in first place. Hey, Komakopa, how you doing today? Not much exciting racing going on here. There is just too much gap between the drivers. Junkai's running away with first place, as was pretty much, I bet, on everybody's bingo card today. I don't think anybody expected Junkai to struggle in this race. The only reason he's even in this race is because of how many races he missed, not because of his driving. Well, hang aboard Shiesty here, because, right? Hang aboard Shiesty here. This is the only competitive part of the track. Oh, Junkai goes in for his first pit stop. Okay. On lap 9, that's considerably earlier than I would have expected. Let's see what tires he puts on and how much fuel he puts on the car. Ozzy's also in the pits. Shiesty's also in the pits, so nobody's going to stay out. That's interesting. Junkai looks like he's filling up to 83% and another stint of medium tires. Okay. Let's see what everybody else does. Ozzy's going to be second one out of the pits. Thrasher stayed out. Okay, 79%, another set of mediums. Shiesty, 67%, and a pair of softs, but he went over the pit line. Pit penalty for Shiesty, that's going to hurt a lot. 3 seconds is, oof, that's going to be brutal. So Thrasher climbs up into second place all of a sudden with the I'm going to stay out and do a couple more laps strategy. I think Shiesty's a little early on the soft tires and perhaps a little under-fueled. I'm not sure on the fuel. Have not set up the fuel. Oh, we got Ozzy right behind Thrasher. Did he let him go? What happened there? Oh, Thrasher's just letting him go. Doesn't want to push too hard. Not sure what that's about. Maybe Thrasher feels like he doesn't really have much of a chance and just doesn't want to be in anybody's way. That would be unfortunate. I would really hope that Thrasher would fight a little harder for these positions. I want him to stay in pro. But Shiesty's coming up behind him, but he does have a 3-second penalty to serve. I'm not exactly sure where that penalty serve marker is. I don't recall. It might be on the home straight. If anybody knows, feel free to chime in. I do not remember where the penalty serve marker is. But it is possible Shiesty may have made a mistake here putting on these soft tires to try to finish, because we saw how quickly they were wearing in, looks like the penalty marker's right here, down the second to last straight. Okay, so he's going to eat 3 seconds here and going to have to catch Thrasher all over again. Unless, of course, Thrasher pits. Thrasher probably was about to let him go, probably, and trying to figure out what's going on. Go, Thrasher, go, man. Don't wait. What are you doing? Oh, he wants to pit. Okay. So the real question mark on this pit strategy here, we have the first two drivers went on just a second set of soft mediums, but Shiesty went on to the softs and put the least amount of fuel in the tank of anybody. So he's going to be the question mark. Will he be able to make it to the end? Will Thrasher be able to reel him in if his tires can hold up? That'll be an interesting question. There's got to be at least 6 more laps to go, I would imagine. We got, what, 12 minutes? Yeah. 12 minutes, 2 minutes a lap, at least 6 laps. So we're talking lap 16, I think, minimum. So these soft tires are definitely going to be near the end of their lifespan as the race is ending. So that could make things interesting. Although I don't know how hard Thrasher put on soft tires as well. That's interesting. I did not catch his fuel percentage, but it looks like roughly maybe 65. But he did pit a lap later. So there is that going for him. And I don't really know how hard Thrasher is pushing today. He doesn't seem like he's really trying to go super hard. I don't think he feels like he can catch him. So that's unfortunate. But we'll have to see what happens with Shiesty here at the end. He's obviously on the purples with those soft tires. That's to be expected. And he'll probably get a fastest lap. But will he be able to reel in Ozzy is the question. 5-second gap between them. That's possible, yeah. It's possible Thrasher just wants to return to GTD. Kind of feels like it's already on the table. Might as well just roll with it. His races last season were probably below his preferred standard. That is a purple lap by 5 hundredths of a second. That was a nice corner. No slide there that time for Shiesty. He had the grip he wanted. He's starting to reel Ozzy in. He's recovered about 6/10 off the last lap. So if he can keep this pace up, he might be able to catch Ozzy. Thrasher pits again. Not sure what that's about. It looks like, yeah, Thrasher is out. Thrasher's just going to sit in the pits for the rest of the race. Yeah. Okay, so our top three is decided then. Junkai, Ozzy, and Shiesty will all be promoted to GTD Pro. The only action left to see is if Shiesty can catch Ozzy to finish this race up. So we're going to stick with Shiesty here for the remainder of the race and see if he can run him down. I don't know if those soft tires are going to make it. That front right is already down to about 50%. So Dirksey was supposed to be in this race apparently, but he didn't show up because he's taking next season off. So that's why we're only got 4 racers and not 5. That makes more sense. We also had an additional opening, I believe, because I don't think Ozzy's returning next season. I think his schedule conflicts was going to prevent him from participating next season, from what I have heard on the grapevine. So we're down to 3 seconds. He has reeled him in. It's possible. Oh, that is not going to help, Shiesty. Ouch. Off the track, into the wall, right front tire and right front damage, and he loses all that time that he was down to a 3-second gap. Ozzy in range, and now it's back up to 5 seconds. That's gonna basically probably end it for him. I don't think the tires are gonna be up to the snuff anymore. Yeah, Ozzy's tires are in real good health on those mediums, and those softs are starting to die. We got about 7.5 minutes remaining, and not a lot is likely to change. Shiesty did set the fastest lap with a 45.6 on those soft tires, so that's proving that he is capable of setting good times. I'm just as competitive as everybody else, Shiesty says. I'm imagining him saying, he didn't actually say that, but yeah. I'm imagining that's going in his head. So, I don't think the soft tires are going to allow Shiesty to catch Ozzy at this point. They've really fallen off their fast pace, so it's just going to be, can he hold on for the remaining 3 laps or so that are going to be in this race? That front right might not make it. It's really going to be dependent on how much he chews through them through these corners. Anytime that red dot is all the way to the left, that front right tire is going to get getting chewed up. So right, like, not now, but let me give you an example here. Oh, he didn't pull it hard over. He did on the hairpin, but we'll see if there's any other instances as we follow him here. See that hard left there on throttle? That eats up the tires. You want to try to avoid that as much as possible during races to conserve your tire life. That would be my Zen tip of the day. Anytime you can make the car turn without going full over, it's a benefit to your tire life. Sometimes you have to. I mean, you just have to, but if you can avoid it, it's optimal. Yeah, I'd say at least 3 more laps left. We should be on 16 to finish. Look how much tire is left. Look at it chew away. That front right has only got about a third of its lifespan left, and it needs 3 more laps. I don't know if it's going to hold up. My money's on no at the moment. Let's check in. Junkai is way ahead. About 16-second gap to Ozzy. And that Ozzy's gap is just extending with that higher quality medium tires. This is where he went off the road and hit the wall last lap. You could tell him, you could see him being a little more tentative through the bottom of that corner, trying to make sure that he did not run wide again. You can see the change of behavior on the throttle. Car is starting to pull wide on these high speed exits. The grip just is not there anymore. I wish I had more to talk about and keep you guys entertained. There's just not much action to speak of. Viewership's dropping off. We had about 15 at peak. We're down to about 10 people. Just watching cars do laps at this point. We got 3.5 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 2.5 minutes. So they should cross with 1 more lap to go to start 16 with roughly about 30 seconds, at least for Shiesty. Maybe a little less. His lap times have fallen off considerably. 58, 58, 58 for the last 3 laps. That's what dead soft tires will do for you. Yes, yes it is. Yes it is, Roy. Ozzy just needs to finish up a clean lap. He might even... No, I don't think he has the ability to park at the line and wait for time to expire. I think there's going to be a little bit too much time left for that. Shiesty's low on fuel, too. Yeah, had Thrasher wanted it, he could have taken... I think he could have ended up... Had he put the mediums on and enough fuel, I think he would have gotten past Shiesty for 3rd place. Had he wanted to do it here. Because Shiesty's struggling at this moment. The tires are dead, the fuel tank is running dry, and he's got another entire lap he's going to have to run after this, technically. Assuming he makes it to the line in time right now. And off the track into the wall. Another more damage for him, but yeah, had Thrasher wanted it, I think he could have caught him. Shiesty looks to be saving fuel with this. Oh yeah, I think he's killing time. He doesn't want to have to do a 16th lap because he knows he doesn't have the fuel for it, or the tires. So he appears to be just kind of coasting most of this lap here. Making sure that he does not have to do a 16th lap. That's probably the smart idea. Although you could just auto-drive it. but 20 seconds left. Yeah, he's just running down the clock. I think Ozzy wanted to do the same thing, but he has got too much time left on the clock. Didn't want to risk giving up the position, perhaps. Well, that's, yep. He pulls into the pits to finish. That's funny. Oh, that'll do it. I think that actually puts him on another lap. Oh, no, there he goes. He's got the checkered. He's crossed. All right, so there we go, folks. Junkai, Ozzy, and Shiesty will, of course, all be promoted to GTD Pro. We're just going to watch the final lap transpire here, but the results are already in. They have been for a while. I believe we have a NASCAR race later today around 3 o'clock. For anybody who wants to participate in the NASCAR Series event. I'm not big on ovals myself. Anytime I'm on an oval, it either I get wrecked or I wreck somebody else, so I'm just not going to drive on an oval. It's never worked out for me, and I think it's better for everybody else for me to not. I might show up in that series for the road tracks, like Willow Springs and stuff. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, indeed, Jim. But the ovals for me are just not where it's at, so. And Junkai takes first place with a little showy finish there at the end. And we'll just hold tight here till Ozzy finishes. We'll get the results screen, and then we will finish our broadcast for the day. But if you do like NASCAR and you do like ovals, be sure to check out the NASCAR series today. 3 o'clock, I believe, Eastern Time, 3 p.m. I believe it's scheduled for. And Ozzy crosses the line. Yes, don't forget to read the rules. Don't ask about the rules. You will make Preston very upset. Please read the rules. Junkai, Ozzy, and Shiesty all get promoted. Thrasher's just still sitting in the pits, thinking about life, wanting to be in GTD. Congrats. I agree, Jim. Congrats on the top 3 for being promoted. Congrats on your seasons. The GTD guy is making it this far and getting the chance to get promoted. Look forward to seeing Ozzy and Shiesty on the GTD Pro track next season. Have a good day, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm just going to quit out here. Not much to show. We're just waiting for the time to expire because Thrasher's still there. So we know what the results are. Yeah, I guess that's all. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.